Hello, my name is Dr. Cheryl Lentz, and I'm so thrilled to be part of your inspirational program. We live in difficult times, and I share with my students often the need for inspiration and motivation. I am a college professor of more than 20 years. I'm also a former military wife of 23 years, and I own my own business for about 13 years. So hopefully, in whatever discipline you may find yourself, I may have a word of wisdom to be able to help you as we move forward to uncertain times. I do a lot of keynote speaking around the country and around the world. And what I like to talk about is the F word. Now I know where you're going with that, but not that F word. The F word I'm talking about is failure. And I like to look at the idea of failure being a gift because most of us think of the Apollo 13 failure is not an option, right? Well, I learned early in life that failure is the only option. Failure is simply a way we learn. And in these uncertain times, we might have the opportunity to reinvent ourselves. And I want you to teach you how failure could be a gift, could be a wonderful blessing and a wonderful opportunity, but it's all in the perspective. It's all in how we define it. And so I want to be able to help you look at this in whatever way that you're going to be able to find comfort in. There's a really great example to think about. For those of you who might have children, particularly young children, I want to tell you a quick story about the 2-year-olds, right? They don't come out of the womb walking. They certainly don't come out of the womb talking. But they have a wonderful way of being able to process failure. Have you ever watched a 2-year-old when they start to walk? It's absolutely magnificent. And if I had a magic wand, I'd turn you all back into 2-year-olds and say it's going to be fantastic. Why? Because learning is nothing more than a game. How does a 2-year-old learn to walk? They fall. They often crawl backwards. They giggle. If you are having a bad day, I challenge you, go to YouTube and find a giggling baby, and you will never feel that way again. It's something that they look at. It's rinse, repeat. They get up, they fall down, they giggle, they get up, they fall down, they giggle. It's a means to an end, and it's just a game, and they keep doing it again and again and again. And the whole idea is a means to an end. They're not actually interested in walking. They're interested in that cookie that mom has, right? They're interested in getting to mom. They're interested in getting to grandma. So here's the point of being able to be interested in getting to the end. Failure's not a destination. Failure's not an outcome. Failure's the process. And if we can think of failure as a gift, yes, a gift, an opportunity. I do this exercise with my students. You'll love this. Is having the ability to take a famous person out for lunch. I would love to take Einstein and Edison. Why? Because they are the kings of failure. Think about Edison, right? He's the guy that invented the light bulb. And the idea is to get up one more time than he got down. And I imagine him with his notebook, right? He's going to be sitting there, yep, that didn't work. Nope, that didn't work. Nope, that didn't work either. And he kept going until he did. But if you know the story of the light bulb, it was 997 times that it didn't work. 998 did. So if I talked to Edison, what might he said? I imagine he would be just like that 2-year-old. You keep going until you get it right, and he just kept going. How many of us give up at 4, 782, maybe 453? But do we ever get to the end? And that's what I'm suggesting is this is a new opportunity to invent ourselves, reinvent ourselves. I used to reinvent myself every 3 years. I've done amazing careers, and this may be an opportunity to be able to offer that to you. Let's help you make friends with failure. It's simply learning how to walk all over again and making a game out of it until you get to where you want to go. The hard part is we adults, we know fear. And it's that pit in the bottom of your stomach. I'll tell you a quick story. When I was in high school, junior high, I was salutatorian, I was valedictorian. There wasn't anything I could do until, and you knew that was coming, senior year, signed up for my AP class for calculus BC. And I walked in, there's this great equation on the board. And my teacher's looking at me thinking, when you're done with this class, you're going to be able to solve that. I'm like, so what? There's no number. All it was is derivatives and signs and symbols and things. But anything's easy once you know how. But here's what happened. I hit a wall, something I wasn't good at. And I got my first C. And then I got my first F. And that fear, that pain, I know what you're talking about because most of my friends, when they got an A, that would go in the refrigerator, right? You know, some of them get paid for it. Man, I would have made a killing. My C is what made it on the refrigerator. My F is what made it on the refrigerator. I, to this day, more than 30 some years later, could still remember the pain in that event. And why? I know what my parents were trying to do. They didn't do it well. But the point was, Ain't no big thing. This is just part of the whole learning process. Anything's easy once you know how. It's a motivating tool unless you let it stay. Now, I had a choice. I chose to get a tutor. I chose to go with my teacher every day after school for months until I could master it. Am I good at it? No. Did I get what I needed to be able to move forward to master some of it and to the extent of it? Yes. But it was a matter of we have two choices. You can let failure stop you, or you can look at failure as a gift. And at that young age in high school, I didn't have enough time to process failure and the fact that it was such an amazing opportunity. It made me work harder. It made me achieve what I needed to do. So I'm going to challenge you here. Fail faster, succeed sooner. It's that simple. But be that 2-year-old. Don't be afraid of failure. Giggle. Make it a game. Okay, that didn't work. This didn't work. We don't often like to work on that F word. And here's the secret. Separate yourself, the person, from the skill you're trying to learn. You're all lovely people. You're trying to better yourself. That's why you've signed up for such an amazing program. You're learning to look to those of us who've done what you want to do and just simply follow in our footsteps. It's so much easier if you can look to someone who's been successful and figure out how we did it. No need to reinvent that wheel. I think we reinvent that wheel way too much. Here is learning how we call it. Because look at our friend Shakespeare, a rose is a rose is a rose. Does it matter what we call it? It might. Napoleon Hill said years ago, as a man thinketh, so he is. If we think we're going to fail, we will. If we think we're going to succeed, we will. Either way, we're right. But think of that idea. We often look at a glass is half empty, a glass is half full. Are there only two options? Are you sure? Remember, I'm a college professor. My job is to challenge you and to challenge your thinking. Fill the glass. It's not an option that many people often choose to make. But we can choose to have failure as a process. Not an outcome, not a final destination, just part of our journey. Because if you're not willing to fail, and you're not going to be able to succeed. That's just part of how it is. So let's make it a no big deal. You've got this. You know it doesn't work. Keep a journal. Celebrate failures. Celebrate, yep, found one more way. Because remember, you just got to get up one more time than you fell down. And so that's my encouragement for you. Fail faster, succeed sooner. Get it all out of your system early, and you can get to the good stuff. But the challenge is we often stop too early. And I know in these uncertain times, fear can help us either move forward or stop us. And so let me challenge you to let it inspire you. Let it motivate you. Giggle your way through life if that's it. Make a game of it. Let me teach you one more thing before I leave you today. It's called yet. A little three-letter word that can make all the difference for you. The idea is you haven't succeeded yet. You have failed today, but that means tomorrow that might be 998 like our friend Edison. So let me inspire you to think that it's just a 4-letter word. It's just that 4 letters that can't scare us. It's not a destination. It's not an outcome. It's not who you are. Instead, simply a learning strategy. It's simply a way forward. So as you're reinventing yourself, you've got this piece of cake. You're going to be fabulous. You're going to be fine. And you're going to emerge stronger after this than you were before because you took action. And that's also another secret. Do something that's going to challenge yourself. Read a book. Learn a skill. Myself during this time is I'm going back to school. And I have my doctorate for many, many years. I'm learning a class. I'm learning how to speak a foreign language. I'm reading books. I'm talking on videos to try and share what I know. So do something to inspire others and take care of yourself. My name is Dr. Cheryl Lentz. If there's anything that I can do to help you, by all means, drcheryllentz@gmail.com. You have my contact information. Look me up online. Lots of videos, lots of things to do. But let me offer you the ability to fail faster, succeed sooner. You can do this. You've got this. I believe in you. Now go conquer the world.